Hello, my lovely people. Where are you watching from? Welcome to Linda's TV show, the home of news. In case if it is your first time of seeing this face or coming across this platform, you are welcome. If you like what you are watching right now, like this video, subscribe to this platform, turn on your notification bell to all notification. It's very important so that YouTube will recommend and suggest our videos to you. Here we react, we educate, we inform people about what is happening in Nigeria and in Biafra land. So like I said yesterday, we are going to be mixing things up. We are going to be bringing news about what is happening in Nigeria and in Biafra land, in other places. So in case if you do not see me posting any particular video, bear with us. YouTube, I appreciate you for creating this wonderful platform. I want you to watch this video from the beginning to the end because I find this discussion in this video very interesting, very informative, very educative, and I give credit to the anchors of this particular program. Disclaimer: Linda's TV show do not promote misleading information, hate speech, violence, instigating war. We are not here to, bring down anybody, to mislead anybody, rather to inform, educate. Like I said before, take your time and watch this video. And please, nobody should come and tell me, Linda, you are so that. Linda, you are being bought over. Nobody is paying me anything. This is my platform, and I choose what to present. That is why I am carrying you guys along, because you have been following me, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Watch this video to the end, okay? I will see you again in the next video. We will watch this together.
Born in Igbo land, I drank the water, I learned the language. In America, when you are born in Washington, you are from Washington. You don't say you are from America, you say I'm from Washington. You know, since the organic ones, which is Dr. Damage and KJ, they don't smile. Now you be the GMO, you have to define yourself. I see how you feel. I see how you feel.
Can you hear me?
All right, let's hear KJ.
Yes, go ahead, KJ, go ahead.
I want to let you know over here that the Igbo dialect has more than 45 different ones. So it does not matter whether the person is from Central or Abakaliki or Suka or in Delta. They all speak, or they are even from Ikwere.
Somebody said yesterday that there were only 3 of them, that the rest now.
No.
Yeah, somebody said it yesterday, not me.
No, we have over 45 different Igbo dialects. So let nobody deceive you. We have over different, and I can say that more because I did, there's a time I wrote a project for somebody in English language which had to do with, dialects and different languages that exist in Nigeria. Anyway, having said that, I want to say that I don't agree with you what is going on in the Ghana, but I agree with you also in one part. In the part that is a power play. Now this is what's going on. John Mama has now been able to capture power and is very stable in doing what the Ghanaians want. And the opposition party now is trying to anger away or take away the anger of the people against them. And the only way to parley it is to look for a person who they can use as the scapegoat. And this Igbo man presents as that. Why I say that much is because the video that's trending now was a video that he made in 2012, and even that project didn't materialize. It never took off. But here is also the very interesting thing. He doesn't have any 50,000 or 50,000 hectares of land anywhere in Ghana. He does not even have any so-called Igbo community in Ghana. Unfortunately, the guy who blew this up, what is his name again? Cyril? Is it Cyril? Yeah. The blogger went on to do half-truth and all that, and eventually ended up, if you listen to him, the first blogger who brought this in, who first called it Igbos have a Igbo kingdom, you find out that he has a disdain for not only for Nigerians especially, but for Igbos especially. he has so much disdain for Nigeria that he feels that Nigeria should go back, leave Ghana, and go back to Nigeria. But let us even look at the Igbo man who is a king, who they call a king. In the first place, Igbos don't have a king, and we don't have chiefdoms. We have autonomous communities almost everywhere in Igbo land. Every community is independent of the other, and they take their own decision. We don't have a central king. We don't have emir formation. We don't have Oba formation. We have not such anything. So any blogger who is serious and wanted to do an expose of the Igbo people will have taken his time to read a little bit of the history of the Igbos. But let us even go a little bit further. Do you know why the Igbos sometimes, have found a lot of them? We have developed a lot of relationship with the Ghanaians, and that started way back in the days of Nnamdi Azikiwe, when he formed a friendship with Kwame Nkrumah, and they both work hand in hand. So it was an introduction of the first kind of those politicians of the then Nnamdi Azikiwe's time had a lot of relationship with the people of Ghana. Ghana also played a very vital role in the time before the Biafran Civil War, where Aburi was where they met to have that discussion. And the president of Ghana at that time played a very vital role, for which the Igbos are grateful for, even though it didn't materialize as he desired. But that endeared the Igbos to sometimes feel like going towards Ghana as a place or where you can go to. Is it that we love Ghana more than every other place? No. But we are ourselves, we are migrant tribe, but we're not territorial. We don't go to a people's land and take over and begin to impose our culture there. If we are doing that, we'll have all migrated to Gabon right now. We'll have been in Branda Pole since. We'll have been in Guinea-Bissau. But we have not gone to any of those places where Igbos have dwelled for so long and taken over those communities or taken over those countries. And we're not going to even do that in a place that is Ghana. Now, I say that much to say that this guy, for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to be happy with the people or his political environment. He's trying to use this Igbo man as the pivotal for him to bring a lot of accusation against the Igbos. For instance, they made comments like every Igbo woman there in Ghana is a prostitute.
It's a prostitute, yeah.
Yeah, well, how do you come up? Every woman there is a criminal, is a kidnapper. They are doing drugs. Did you?
Can I not take it? Can I not take a word from you? Can I not take a word from the mouth? This guy you're talking about, is he not the? I think he said. I thought he's an MP or whatever it is, and he belongs to a party. Is it an APC party over there in Ghana?
That's the party that was removed from power. That's the party that was removed from power.
And he's also boasting. I was watching something online. I heard where he was boasting that he's gonna become a president of Ghana, and that when he becomes the president of Ghana, that no kind of like immigrant is gonna own any property, another kind of a thing. One of the journalists asked him, "You have a property in Germany?" He said, "Well, that's Germany." And then, the person asked him, "Then what is the difference between if Germans can allow you to acquire a property over there, then why is it a problem for an immigrant to acquire a property, legally acquire a property in Ghana?" He couldn't answer it. He was just beating around the bush. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Sorry,
the guy they play active politics for Ghana. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Not the Igbo guy. Not the Igbo guy. The politician.
The Ghanaian guy. Yeah, the Ghanaian guy.
Hassan. His name is Hassan. Okay, hold on there. Hold on, guys. Mazep Allah, welcome to the show. Let me see if we can expand this conversation. The way they say it, enlarge it in a way. It's not just about Ghana. There were other videos from other countries in Africa where people are picking on the Nigerian. I'll play a clip from a Ghanaian talking about it, and let's see if there is something that we should actually talk about as Nigerians if we decide to reduce it to Igbo people, but I think as Nigerians. So let's listen to this lady. All right.
Let's talk. I think you guys collectively need to come together and realize that you are the common denominator. As in, all these countries that are coming together to ban you, to get rid of you, to not want you in their country, we are not all going mad. You guys need to finally accept that you are the toxic that we are all trying to get away from. And I understand that it sounds like I am generalizing right now, and I'm really not. Unfortunately, the bad apples are doing too much that we cannot see the good apples anymore. We cannot see the good ones anymore because the bad ones are just so many. And so now it is either the good ones are holding the bad ones accountable for completely ruining your integrity and your name, or you guys just stay in your countries. Bear in mind that we have all traveled to find greener pastures elsewhere. I am Ghanaian, but I'm not in Ghana right now. But guess what I do? I obey the rules, the law, and the regulations in the land that I am in. And that is what most people do. I am not saying that there are no bad Ghanaians out there, but it seems to be Nigerians who are making Africa become this highlighted toxicity that nobody wants to deal with. You have now been banned from Dubai, America, South Africa, and Ghanaians are not trying to get rid of you guys. You cannot go into somebody else's land and try to assert your dominance through arrogance. Just because you're the loudest in the room doesn't mean that you are right. Even when a Nigerian is making a video complimenting Ghana, there is still an insult in there. Small Ghana, come and see how their currency holds so much value. Small Ghana, come and see how you can go outside without feeling any threat of being kidnapped. Small Ghana, come and see how there is electricity anywhere. Even in your compliments, it is still rooted in insult and arrogance and disrespect. You want to look down on everybody else around you, and I seriously don't know who accredited you with the certification of Giants of Africa, but it has really gone into a lot of your heads.
All right. Let's stop her there. So all you Nigerians, she's talking to you guys. Let me hear from Abara. Explain yourself. What is she getting wrong?
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Rudolph,
Yeah.
KJ. Prince Akwacha, I always hear your voice from on radio, voice of the people, Lagos.
Yeah, because he's a fake Igbo man. That's why.
Yeah, I always hear his voice. Very good. Yeah, Doctor, please. Yesterday we discussed this Igbo something very, very long. Show's program, on Forefathers program. We discussed about, in fact, it was all what we discussed yesterday. And I was there too. Okay, no other people were there. What this Ghanaian lady said here right now is exactly what some Nigerians are saying against Nigerians, but particularly against Ndibo. Yesterday, Mr. James, somebody I always like listening to, made one comment that really disturbed me when he said that East question, that if Igbo people should not talk to Igbo should not talk to the people in Ghana and in South Africa and other places, that Nigeria should, consider giving us a chance to leave Nigeria so that there will be peace, something like that in Nigeria, so that there will be no this every time Nigeria. That means Mr. James concluded that Nigerians who are disturbing or who are committing crimes in Ghana, in South Africa, other places are likely to be Igbos, because he said it loudly that can you hear me?
We can hear you, Mazepara. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Someone who has this, I think it's Uzo maybe. Go ahead.
So Mr. James said that, and I was not pleased with that. That's why I came and said, please, Mr. James, you are wrong here. So this issue of this Igbo man in Ghana and other places, how Igbos or Nigerians are being chased out in other countries. Really, I don't really have much to say about it, but if you look, like I just watched, just about a few minutes ago, I watched in South Africa. Even they're trying to tell Nigerians to go back again. If you go to the commentary sections, you see our fellow Nigerians telling those South Africans that the people they should remove from South Africa are the Igbos, not other Nigerians, but the Igbos. And somebody was telling that women that they are ready to point out Igbos in South Africa so that they will be sent back to Nigeria. That the Igbos are the people that's making Nigeria, spoiling Nigeria's name in South Africa. So this thing is not. Let me tell you, Ghanaians are even more friendly to Igbos than other Nigerians in Ghana and outside Ghana. Yesterday, finally, one guy, the guy with dreadlock, I think it's called Revolution Now. He even openly here accused that man, that Igbo man, that so-called SND Igbo in Ghana, accused him of, sex trafficking. That he made his money through sex trafficking, through ashawo, this and that. That's what Igbos do. He said it yesterday on this thing, and Fofota didn't even caution him until I think his internet went off. So this is the mindset of what these people have. The Nigerians are the people who are instigating Ghanaians against Nigerians, mostly Igbo people, in Ghana, in South Africa, even in America.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I want to get everybody.
Dr. Damages, if you don't mind me just saying one thing. Please, revolution now is the same thing with Ovie. They are lost Nigerians. So yeah, so pardon him for that. He's a lost Nigerian.
All right, Prince.
Thank you.
Let's have a kind of organization. Let's talk about this very well in a more professional way. There are many issues here. One is the issue of the perception of the Nigerian outside of Nigeria, especially in African countries. I know that all of us are in different parts of the world. I don't think there's anybody joining us from Nigeria. And you must have seen that. And then, some people now reduce it to whether the Nigerian you're referring to are Igbo people or not Igbo people. So I want us to look at it. There's something out there. There's a perception of the Nigerian out there. And we are seen as aggressive. It's not one particular group. I don't think there's any particular. They don't even separate us. I was in Kenya, and I went to the market. I started talking to them about Africa, about Nigeria. They didn't know what I was, Igbo or Yoruba. All they know is that this is what they know about the Nigerians. Some like Nigerians for the same reason, actually, that some do not like Nigerians. But that's a different topic. But I want us to talk about the perception of Nigeria and Nigerians abroad. And to put it in bigger context, if you talk about Americans abroad, they have negative perception. And I don't want to dominate the conversation the way our guy does that. I want to hear from you guys. And then maybe I'll put in my few viewpoints. So let me go to someone we've not heard from. I don't remember what the sequence that people came in, but let me go to you, Chris. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hello, Dr. Damages. Good evening.
Yeah, nice to have you. What's wrong with all you Nigerians, Chris?
No, nothing is wrong. You see, always look at this as a problem, where you have issue of diversity. Well, outside Nigeria, it wouldn't be a diversity problem, but in Nigeria, it is issue of diversity. But what it is like, when people when people get successful, they tend to attract a kind of jealousy, kind of envy, kind of issues around their success. So, in outside Nigeria, most Nigerians are very successful.
Hold on, stop, Chris, stop. Are Nigerians the most successful people in Africa? Let's say in Ghana, if you go to Ghana now, are Nigerians the most successful people in Ghana who are
Well,
not Ghanaians?
they are successful, but they are also visible. Let me put it that way. They are more visible. They are more they try to be more visible in their success than other societies. You see, like here in UK, if you see Nigerians and see Kenyans or see other African countries, you will definitely know a difference between the two countries. You know where they come
What are the
from the way
differences?
from
What
the
are
way they behave.
How? What way do the Nigerians behave?
Well, they are too loud. They are too noisy. They are too boisterous. If you can define them that way.
Okay. All right.
Again, they tend to have more confidence in terms of relating with the whites or the other people. Tend to be more confident, to try to be more assertive in whatever they do, in their relationship with the other people, which the other nationalities from Africa don't.
Okay. All right, Chris, thank you. Let me go to Stay Humble. Stay Humble, you're a Nigerian. You just left, I believe, I hope I'm getting your bio right. You just left recently. How long have you been outside the country? Stay Humble.
I'll say 3 years.
Okay, recently. Okay, so what is as a Nigerian abroad, have you noticed this thing that people are noticing from other African countries?
So the perception regarding Nigerians really varies. It varies greatly. I've lived in different parts of the UK, fortunately, and I've been able to have various opinions about what they think, regarding Nigerians. Many people think that Nigeria is blessed with teeming youth, with so much talent, with so much energy, with so much potential. Some other people think that Nigerians are very assertive, that you can't take them for a ride, and that the concept of colonization is to browbeat, is to intimidate. So when that is not feasible, then it becomes an issue. So one of the reasons why people find it difficult to coexist with Nigerians is because they think that Nigerians are really assertive and they don't take nonsense, if you use that term. So I think, but the whole drama in Ghana that is just fueled by the media. And I want us to really de-emphasize on what's happening in Ghana, because what's happening in Ghana, I just think it's some kind of political, it might be political, probably someone got involved in deciding who gets what. And some people are not happy with it. And what's happening in Nigeria now. The caliber of people that have taken over the helm of affairs in Nigeria, there are people that emphasize on tribe. If you've listened to the conversations in Nigeria in the last 2 years, especially, in the last 10 years, really, but in the last 2 years especially, it's always been about tribe. Most of the interviews that you see granted on Arise on channels, Shegu Showumi, he talks about tribe. He wrote this thing about Peter Obi's birthday. He talked about tribe. There is so much emphasis, and that's the Tinubu's strategy. all about tribe, all about tribe. Remove all the names of, rename all the streets in Lagos, do this, do that, trying to create the impression that these people are against these people. There is no war between the Igbos and the Yorubas. There is no war between Nigerians and Ghanaians. There is no war between Nigerians and South Africans. These things are just the CIA APC strategy to create artificial chaos and division. So we should de-emphasize on all those things and try to talk more about what we need to do to get the continent back to its feet. So that's what we should be talking about, not Nigeria, Ghana, this and that. Those things don't exist.
No, thank you, stay humble, but I don't think we can wish it away. There are problems. They exist. I talk to people on the ground. They are not happy about certain things. And I talk to people from other African countries. They're not happy about certain things. You can say that it may be something that is escalated because of politicians or because of poverty and hardship, but they don't say that it doesn't exist. Even in America here where we are, people have problems with different groups of people. It's a human thing. It's there. It's not a new thing. It has happened all over Europe for many, many years, continues to happen. So it's not that it's not there. The question is, what is it and how do we deal with that? All right, sure, let me come to you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Dr. Damages. Good afternoon to all the panelists, the people in the comment section. I salute you all. It's a shame that the guest didn't come today. I was looking forward to listening to him. If you've noticed, I don't come in on Sundays. I just want to listen. I have nothing to ask anybody because they won't have the answer.
Wait, sure. The one you asked Peter B, we're still waiting for the answer.
Peter B is important. Peter B is important. He's important. If you bring Tinubu, I would come and ask him the questions. But when people see Nigerian journalists and start getting excited and asking them questions as if their answer is going to change anything and ask all this, what they talk, so man. You see, it's quite interesting when I see people ask journalists, like you bring some of the journalists here, and I'm not downplaying their role, but when people start asking them questions that are meant for politicians, as if tough questions, like what nonsense tough. Anyway, so I wasn't going to join today, but when I saw the video of the lady you played, the Ghanaian lady who seems to be in the UK from that, I thought, let me come. I've always wanted to say this, but the opportunity never presented itself until now. If Nigerians want to get a direct image of what other Africans see when they see us abroad, how they feel about us exactly, the closest you'd get to it is the way we see each other or one another in Nigeria is the way other Africans see us. Let me explain it. You see, you speak to an average Igbo man on this panel, as an example. We are the most industrious. We are the most this. We are the most that. We are the most detribalized. Sorry, where did you conduct the survey? Who told you? Because you think it? You think it's fact? You speak to a Yoruba man. We are the most hospitable. We are accommodating. We open our door for everybody. Who told you are number one? The same hospitality that we claim as Yoruba people, they will tell you the people from Benue. Even KG said it. He lived in the middle belt and he said they are hospitable people because he experienced it. Somebody who has never left the shores of Yoruba land will tell you we are the most hospitable. An Igbo man who has never lived outside the Igbo land and the US will say we are the most industrious, we are the most this, we are the most that. They will say the Hausa man is the most detribalized because they are Sabongeri in everywhere you go. So we claim this. It borders on superiority complex that we see amongst each other or one another in Nigeria. Speak to any tribe, all these 365, one for each day that we talk about, that we have. They will tell you we are the most this. To the point that you start doubting your own and say, are we useless? Yeah, so these people that is the way other Africans see all of us combined. Because when we go anywhere, we portray that, we exude that, we're better than you. Nigerians are the team lead. Even in a warehouse, the Nigerian team leader is doing like this for the Ghanaian people that work under him. I've worked in warehouses in this country. I didn't start doing this when I came. I worked in places as warehouse, picking and packing. I did it. You will see Nigerian like this for everybody. So that attitude that we have, It's positive. It has its advantages. But it also comes with this thing that we get. This, so let's not act surprised when we get this backlash from other Africans. I agree to a large extent. Even now, outside of the warehouse and working in, 9 to 5 contracts, making money and all of that, I agree Nigerians want more, which is a good thing. I hope this doesn't get seen. I worked somewhere recently because I don't stay in one place. I work here 3 months, I'm gone 6 months. I worked somewhere recently. Some of the permanent staff who were there, an opportunity came up and they offered a Ghanaian brother the role. All he needed to say was yes. The guy turned it down. I had to ask him, I said, sorry, brother, why? He said he feels it's unfair that he met all these Oyinbo people in this role. I said, but they offered you because they believe that you've come in, you've learned, and you're better than them. He said he just feels it's wrong. In my head, I think, where are my Nigerian brothers? Without being qualified, they would tell you I want it, give it to me. I've met a guy before. The guy said if Donald Trump can be president of America, I can do anything. I would apply for any role. He said if Trump, who was not your everyday politician, can be American president, he said, don't tell me there's a job I couldn't do. I got a job not too long ago. I posted somewhere. I said, if, for those of you who follow soccer or football, I said, because I've been applying for this particular sort of gig, contract role, and I've been turned down because I don't have the experience for that particular software. And I put it there. I said, how can you turn me down because I don't have experience for this particular software? I have experience of all these other softwares. They do exactly the same thing. This is just a different brand. It's the biggest, but they do the same thing. I can learn it. So I now said, if Vincent Company, who managed Burnley Football Club in England, and he got them relegated, I think he drew 8 games, he lost about 30. Horrible season. Got them relegated. Who employed him next? Bayern Munich. I said, if that can happen, and it happened in the public, everybody saw he failed, and his next job was one of the top 5-6 clubs in the world. I said, surely you people should give me a chance. Come on, it can't be that bad. A recruiter saw it and called me, and he gave me a role, and I went to do that job last summer in Coventry. That's a Nigerian for you. The confidence is there. Say nothing, you don't get too head. We go do them. So I can understand why they see us that way, but we also have to look inwards and mellow on this all our things that is baseless. To say we are the best at this, we are the number one in this. When we talk to each other, we are the most this, we are the most that, we are the most hospitable, we are the most accommodating. Who told you? When did you do your findings? Because your daddy told you, because his daddy told him. Let's slow down. People get offended. We might not know it, but people get offended. People start thinking, is it just you? And it's not about a particular tribe. All of us are guilty as charged. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sho. KJ.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
If I wanted to ask Sho a question, I would have asked him, what did the Israelis do, the Jews rather, do that they are, sometimes presented as one of the worst hated people on earth? What did they do to everybody? Nothing. You see, the can-do spirit which God has given to you, and I call it, there's something that is called the spirit of a man. The spirit of a man is what sometimes gets distorted with the arrangement that the secular humanism is bringing now. Okay, by trying to say that as a man, you and your wife are equal and all that nonsense. There's a spirit in man, and that spirit, when you destroy it, the person becomes a nobody, irrespective of where you are put him. Now, that spirit of can-do has always run in the Nigerian DNA, whether you like it or not, whatever we say, and that is the spirit that gets things done. You see, and I'm going to go a little bit off where you are now. Peter Obi, who has been a gentle man all this while, the system is radicalizing him now. He's talking more than he has spoken before. He's doing things what he ordinarily wouldn't have done. He's responding to people what he wouldn't have ordinarily responded to. But now that you people are taking him through this route, tomorrow the same system will say, hey, look at him. And they say he's a gentle guy. Look, all this while he was pretending. But now you guys are the one driving him to that extreme. Now, I said that to say, when a Nigerian, whether in Nigeria or outside, there are certain people who are just laid back. I'm not going to call any tribe. And then when you see somebody who is thinking of moving ahead, thinking of going forward, thinking of just applying himself to a situation he finds himself, that becomes offensive. Because if you as a Nigerian can take off from Nigeria and go to South Pole, where you are the only one black person, and you're able to live there confidently without minding, there's something extraordinary the rest of people should learn from. It shouldn't be a reason to hate you. But in this content, concerning as we're discussing, that spirit is what they fight over. You know, this is not the only person. The case we're discussing now, I saw another video from Kenyans, from South Africans, from people of other nations complaining about the same thing, the way Nigerians come to their country and jump around. The Kenyan owns that the women no longer want to marry them. They are going after Nigerian men. And in fact, that Nigerian men, these Igbo people, they don't know these Igbo people, they just spend all their money on women. Now, all that is a reason to hate. All that is a reason to think that these people are not doing the right things as they should. And we are not saying that nobody in anywhere have said if a Nigerian goes to a nation, a country, and goes and commit crime, he should be set free because of Nigerian. No, if you go to a nation and you refuse to live by the dictates of that law of that nation, and you go into criminality, they should arrest you and let the full weight of the law be brought on you as accordance will have been done to any other person. But don't say because he's a Nigerian and he's looking for how to survive, so he has gone against your nature because you prefer him to be laid back and wait for him to be more than qualified before he takes an opportunity. If we are doing that, we will not be where we are. And let me tell you something. Let me even say this to the other, people who are listening who are not Nigerians. If the Nigerian government had been faithful or had been truthful to itself, we would have been like Southern Africa, where nobody would travel out of Southern Africa to go and look for a job. We will have no reason, no Nigerian will have any reason to live outside Nigeria because the government would have been sufficient and jobs and employment and everything would have been. And that is the reason why we're insisting that we need to sit down and rewrite our constitution and lay out things the way they should be so that a nation can move forward and we all can go back to our homes and not have anybody tell us to go back to your country because our country will have been a destination. Right now, we're not a destination, we're rather a departure. But we should be a destination around the world. We have lived, and when I was in primary school, I was taught by Indian teachers. I don't know if there's any Indian teacher right now teaching in primary school in Nigeria. I had Mrs. Gupta was one of my teachers, okay, in primary school. In secondary school, I had many of them, Ghanaians, Indians, and all that. How many of them are left behind right now? But that's the truth. That is where we are. And if we need to address this issue as Nigerians, we need to call on the government and we need to be more proactive in determining who comes to governance, not people who come and don't have anything to offer. And just because they are insulting their fellow compatriots means that they are becoming politicians. Not because we will bring somebody who doesn't have a certificate and we say this guy is aptitude, he's a strategist. What kind of stupid strategy are you that you don't have a certificate? You are bringing illegality into the system, corruption and all the rest, and they say you are a political juggernaut. Which kind of juggernaut? What is that? So the system becomes corrupt all the way down because everybody can point to you and say he doesn't have anything to offer. Why should I be the one who should be concerned? Sorry, I'll end with this, Dr. Rudolph. Is there any country in Africa right now that will have elected somebody who did not go to school to run economy at this time, this hour, this year of the world? Is there any other place apart from Nigeria? We're not serious. That's why these things happen. And when these things happen, our government don't take any proactive step to deal with the issue. You think can do that to an American? It's not an American that broke the law in Russia, who went and was trying to pretend to get into Russia and was arrested. Did the American government leave him because that 18-year-old boy broke the law? No, they dispatched the ambassador and made sure they discussed until they removed him. Okay, they removed him from there back to America. That's a nation that when their people go contrary to the law, they make sure they follow it to a conclusion and make sure you get the best of justice. That's a nation, not what we are doing. Not what we are doing. I just have to end it there. Thank you for the time.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go to Adama. Adama, welcome to the show. We're talking about Nigerians abroad, the way we are seen, the way we see ourselves, and why some people are not happy with us.
Greetings to all the panelists. For those of our viewers watching, please click on the thumbs up and click on the dollar sign to support this channel, what we're doing. Well, that was a good question you asked, Dr. Damages. Why I came in when I was watching. What I'm here to say is, as much as I'm proud to be a Nigerian, and I just want us to, we need to take our time to evaluate ourselves. As we may think whatever of us, the truth is, a lot of us come out here in the diaspora, we have become a nuisance. Let's just say it the way it is. It is. We are educated. I'm in the medical field. You guys know I'm a medical doctor, I'm an anesthesiologist. And guess what? Nigeria has one of the worst healthcare system. As much as we have one of the top doctors, surgeons are Nigerians. Where is our healthcare system? Igbos are industrious. I call them the China of Africa. But at the end of the day, guess what? We don't have electricity. We don't have the basic necessity for a human being to survive or thrive. In order for you to have those things, you have to spend money. So why I came in is we need to take a look at ourselves. You can be whatever you like in the diaspora. You can have acquire all the wealth you want to, and you can bestow yourself whatever you want to. But if you feel you're going to come to someone else's country and you want to display all this thing, my advice for you is you need to go back home. Go back home and start displaying those things. Start putting things in place so that for those generations, like if you feel you've acquired so much wealth that you want to stay in the diaspora and you want to tell the people that own the land that you're bigger than them, I'm sorry, in my opinion, you're a nuisance. You cannot come to my house and I tell you, take your shoes off at the door and you said you prefer having your shoes on. You have to leave. So we need to learn to respect ourselves. We are braggadocious. We're loud. A lot of us are incorrigible. When we come to this platform, we don't know how to follow decorum. Everybody is educated. You cannot caution us. So all I'm here to say to every one of us, including myself, we need to evaluate ourselves because this is getting out of hand. Enough is enough. That's all I have to say. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Dama. Michael, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Damages. Thank you so much for inviting me again and giving me this opportunity. Adama, you spoke very well. You see, that's why we need more women to come in on this platform. Because you see, when the women come, there's love and affection. So the word you just said is, you touch a lot and it makes sense what you say. Well, on this particular topic you talk about, like Nigerians in diaspora, what we do. I think all boils down to where we're coming from. Number one, like somebody said in a different program I listened to today, is that we have to look at how do we get here? What circumstances bring us to diaspora? Everybody have a different circumstances, and how we strive to get to where we are is all matters. You see, one thing I realize is that, like everybody else says, Nigeria, we are striving nation because of where we come from. You don't want to go back without showing that you succeed because Nigerians believe in success by any means necessary. That is the culture, folks, because I came to this world without nothing, but guess what? They're already banging on my head 1 year, 2 years. When are you bringing the car? When are you building the house? So you see that cultural pressure, in fact, allow us to make sure that I will do anything possible just to survive here and to support and to do something tangible back home. So that's our culture. And I see that there's a lot of jealousy out of Africa. And that has been the part of it from generation to generations. That when they see somebody traveling, even here in American, within the African American culture, there's differences. There's jealousy of successful people who are making it to the aim of affairs or aim of economy. But the fact about it is that we Nigerians, and somebody said it too, because of our cultural background, because of our nature of being, and when we come to diaspora, we do not create that affection of unity among ourselves. Because I can tell you, as a Yoruba man, I only go to my Igbo event once in a while, but I've never been to any unified community that embrace us as a Nigeria. Period. No Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, or whatever. I've never seen that, and that's what we are missing. And like KJ says too, Nigeria cannot move forward until we find a solution to our problem of tribalism. Because when we find a solution to that, that's when that country will move forward. Because
So
you're
Michael,
talking about Obi is going to be there. Let's say Obi win the election. Yoruba man is going to complain is about Igbo. The Hausa man is going to complain. They're not looking at the successful or at what goal or role or what the program this individual is bringing into this thing. That's why democracy does not. I'm sorry to say it. Democracy is not working for us in Africa, period. I don't want anybody to come and argue with me. Democracy meaning the government of the people by the people. How many elections in Africa does the people elect the right people? We keep on recycling them because they control the power of the election. So those are the things. So when it comes to diaspora, I think Nigerians need to find a way to kind of tone it down or embrace each other to understand where we come. Our culture is loud. We arrogant because when people say we're arrogant, no, we are not. We are not arrogant. Please, let's use that word arrogant. Take it out of our description of Nigerians. We are not arrogant, but we are very assertive. We go for what we want, and we let everybody know our presence. We are here. And that comes from the colonial master. You know, when the British left us, that's what they left us with. They left us with nothing. They want us to fight on our own. And we did. And that's what other countries in Africa does not understand us. But it's for us to be able to explain to them that this is who we are. We like to be present in where we are. We like to show that we are here. And Nigerian, for us, is like for somebody to walk over us. I think it's in our DNA too that somebody to control, to walk over you, it's hard, it's difficult for us to accept. It's kind of emotional touch. So that's what, to me, that's what I think I'm listening to everybody, and that will be my contribution for today. Thank you so much, Dr.
all right,
Damages.
thank you. Before you go, Michael, someone wanted to know from you why your definition of success. You mentioned that because we are successful. What is? How do you define success?
Success in terms of, it depends on how success is. You are able to live a decent life. You are able to provide for your family. You understand me? But in Nigerian terminology, success is about you giving to somebody extra, being able to provide for extended family. That's what they consider success to us in that culture. Because your success here in diaspora is within your own family. You're able to provide your kids good. You're able to give them. But guess what? Your success for them to determine your success is your being able to provide for somebody else or being able to give them some. That's what I mean by success. And there's that cultural pressure on us. And you guys, everybody here knows that. Because there's none of us who lives in diaspora. It's not.
Are you saying that it's not on Kenyans, on Ghanaians, and other Africans? Do you think they don't have
Yes, culturally, Dr. Damages, they do have it. But culturally, Nigeria is more expansionary and more, you know what I mean? It's more like aggressive, like you, it's like they're pounding on your head that it has to be done. But other people, it's like they let it, do it, but in a certain way that it's not putting kind of the ultimate pressure on an individual like we do. That's what I mean.
All right, thank you. Ovie, I want to explore this from your own perspective. Nigerians are in America. We don't get this kind of backlash here in America. Why is it that we get it from other African countries? Can you give an answer to that? We're not
Short
different.
answer because
Yeah, go ahead.
short answer because we are all poor materially, and poor people seem to turn against themselves at any given time.
You mean in
That's
Africa?
generally. If you go any poor community, black, white, or whatever, the way the way they will treat you is different from way. That's materially now. But let me emphasize on that a little bit, right? I think what our last speaker would call as a culture, I would term it as a religion, right? I think we don't seem to understand that capitalism is a religion, and one ways of actually manifesting it is be the best, which is what the question you're asking, Michael, what success is about. And capitalism is anything that money can quantify. And today, there's literally nothing that money cannot quantify. Even if people quantify God, say, but according to me, how successful I am materially, that guy know God. That's why he's successful like that. And Nigeria, we take it literally to every aspect of our life. If you go church, you have to be successful. If you are not success, you don't know God. You have to be the best. Even within family, you have to be the best. Look at your brother, he's doing this. Look at your sister, you have to, every aspect of it. So we take that literally. So when you find yourself outside, that drives you, good or bad. And we not just do it individually, even collectively. The idea is a sport age day. It's not be individual athletes they do them. It's a collective agreement, both the coaches, the trainers, and the federation, because we want to win. We want to be the best. Our politician, the same thing. So I will not say it's a religion that we have practiced to the beyond everybody else on this planet without even knowing it. So because we think success is literally defined by what money can actually quantify. So that, I don't know where it was then, it was before we met the colonial people or even as early as 50 years ago. But within the last 30 years, right, the more you see the hate comes towards Nigerians, so are other things too, right? As I was listening to the girl, I took her serious when you introduced her, but when she get to the point, she started saying, Nigeria, oh, this small Ghana says, this small Ghana says. So I come to understand that it has to also do with the times that we are in. There is anger, genuine anger. And I would just to say, just like Mama Echo said it on the Niger Watch, we are war with the so-called the best, the experts, the educated. In Nigeria context, they run the country for the past 60 years in the name of what? The best. This is what we got. So there's a genuine anger because the so-called the best are the minority. The majority are waking up. So the idea that everybody is emboldened to identify with where he actually come from, he has to also come with the times. So it's easy, because now only way they attack us negatively, right? But most of the time they say that we'll be the best now. They only praise us too. Anywhere we go, Nigeria men are the best, Nigeria this are the best, Nigeria the best. So it comes with the time. So now the anger against the best that you are seeing. So for those who are still wondering why person will not sabi speak English like me, they support Okpolo. That is it. Because we once asked the best of English speakers at that affair, what did we get? So it's a war going on against the best. So if that is our culture, if that is religion, we see it, every one of us, and it's across the board in Nigeria, both religions, both tradition, everything, you got to be the best. And once anybody come from abroad, we the best, because how do you know it's the best? Brand new car, brand new house, they give, you are the best. However you become the best, it's not important.
All right, Ovia, we can hear you, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenny, welcome to the show. You're muted, Kenny.
Yeah, good day, Dr. Damages. Good day, everyone. think I called in late. But I don't know what was the topic
No,
about what happened in Ghana, right?
no, not really. That was discussed extensively yesterday. We are talking about the perception of the Nigerian abroad. What have you seen? How are you seeing where you live in Atlanta? The Nigerians, yeah, you can actually talk about the Nigerian community in Atlanta. How are they seen by Americans or other Africans?
Okay, I'm beginning to agree with those that refer to Africans as primitive, backward, uncivilized people. And when you come to Africa, especially Nigeria, is where you will find those people, a lot of them. They are more concentrated in Nigeria. Primitive, backward, and uncivilized. And most of them actually went to school. Most of them are PhD holders, the backyard ones, a lot of them, they have doctorate degrees, master's degrees, very eloquent in their speech. The likes of Reno, is it Reno
Reno.
Mokri? Yeah, Reno Mokri. And we had one professor, the one that won Nobel Prize. I don't want to mention his name. He's an old man anyway. So a lot of them. So when they go to another man's land, for example, most of us that are in the US, you cannot tell us that Nigeria or Nigerians are louder than the US citizens. I mean, the whites, the black Americans, we are not louder than these people, right? They show off, they show themselves. They show you, they prove to you what they can do, what they can handle, right? So, but in a situation where an African in Africa is trying to show off, show you what he can do. If you know that you can do better than him or her, please prove to us that you are better. Then we can go for you. But once they see you having that kind of attribute, oh, he's loud, he's boisterous, he's showing off. On this platform yesterday, somebody said that when you are in another man's land, you don't build your house the way you want it, to be built. You just build a small house like a cubicle so that you remain humble because you are in another man's land. And that was forefathers. Now, but most of us are in the UK, you are in the US, you have big house. Matter of fact, some of us refuse to even buy already built house. You have to go build it yourself to your own taste because you have your money. It is your land, it is your house. You build it to your own taste. But an Igbo man in Ghana cannot build a mansion, cannot build a house, a befitting house for himself and the family, and even name it whatever he wants to name it because he's an Igbo man. He has to be humble. He has to be meek so that they will know that he's humble. See, I would say that it's about education. Education isn't just the one you acquire from classroom. Some of us, we went to classroom, we have the degrees. Actually, degrees they got from Shua, like anyhow degrees, and nothing in your head. And these are the people when they behave, you'll be wondering, this person actually go to school. And that is why you see your fellow human being as a threat. You see your fellow human being as one that is limiting you from achieving what you would have achieved in life if not because of that person. See the mentality. See what is going on in South Africa. Africans killing their fellow Africans. See what is going on in Nigeria. Nigerians killing their fellow Nigerians because of their perceived threat. Perceived, they will take up our land. They will claim our land. And now in Ghana, but none of them has ever experienced this thing in the countries where they live, especially in Europe or America, because nobody sent you there. Do you understand what I mean? Nobody sent you. If you come, there are people that have your madness, your type of madness times 20. So you have to pull yourself down. But once they go back to their land, Africa, they become tigers, they become gorillas. They want to attack you because this is our land. You don't come to our land and become a king or a chief. You don't come our land. But a lot of you are contesting for leadership positions in the US. You are contesting for leadership position in the UK. Whenever a Nigerian UK based become a leader, political leader, we celebrate them. Whenever they become political leaders in the US, we celebrate them. But in Nigeria, a Nigerian cannot go to Ghana and contest for any position. No, you have to go back to Nigeria. A Nigerian cannot go to South Africa and contest for any political position. No, he has to go back to Nigeria. We Africans are doing ourselves. No white man, nobody is pulling us down. We are the one pulling ourselves down because of our primitive mentality, because of our uncivilized way of life, because of our hatred and jealousy to one another. Until we change this mentality, I was listening to someone, I've forgotten his name. That's and some older man that until Africans change their ways. No, we can't change. We are just wicked. If you are looking for devil, if you think there is devil any other place, unseen devil or Satan, you are making a mistake. The devil is the Africans. We are the devil. We are the Satan. We are very wicked set of people. We can never change.
Now,
Wickedness dwell in us.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I understand the frustration, but black people are not the devil. Don't buy into that. I understand the frustration with how things are going. And that takes me to the next angle to this story, because we think it's a small thing. We think like stay humble, things we can dismiss it, and it's not a major issue. This same issue has led to genocide all over the world. You know what happened to the Jews in Europe. You know what happened in Cambodia from 1975 to 1979. Rwanda, over 1 million people, about 1 million people were killed in 100 days. It didn't just happen one day that they woke up and started killing people.
Yes.
It happened to Armenians in the Ottoman Empire, Bangladesh. It happened there. So there's a long history of people rising up to kind of put all their anger on the people they don't like for whatever reason. Maybe because it may be from the perspective of the people that are being killed, they were more successful. Maybe because they had advantages, they perceived advantages. So it's a serious issue, and we may not see it that way until something happens. I had the discussions yesterday and all over the week, people talking about Ghana must go, Nigerians must go. That's even simple if people are told to pack out and go, but people could be killed, and it has happened. So this is a serious issue. I think it's the most serious issue that, especially for people who are thinking about African unity, about black people coming together to build a continent that will challenge the West, or that will be able to withstand what the impact, the pressure from the West. So I wanted to look at that angle, because like I said, in Rwanda, if you check their history, even before independence, there were a series of killings that led to the big one. It was only after the big one that they now had to pause and think, how did we end up like this? The Germans also did the same thing. After the big one, Germans were not the first people that were killing the Jews. There were different people killing the Jews all over Europe. But once they did that, they thought to know, how did we end up like this? It's a gradual process. You might think this one has come and blown off, but another thing will happen, we forget about it. There are people who are still angry about the Nigerian in South Africa. They are waiting for another opportunity to attack the Nigerian. They didn't forget.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.